Hey.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cutting Stems. We have had a week off. We're back, all four of us, feeling good. Everybody's got a tan. I mean, everybody. It's just unbelievable.
I'm burnt. I got burnt.
The whole
computer.
You look tan. Maybe it's just from your lighting situation, but
I got a ring light back here, and it's just, I don't know if it's working, but I feel like I look burnt, but I'm happy to be back.
No, it looks like a tan to me. We've all had a nice break. We're back drinking our Owens. I got to restock. I'm almost done with my bottle at Kelly's. I'm fully locked and loaded, ready to go.
These two. Benson and I got a little out of hand tonight and drank the whole thing.
Yeah, mine's gone. I really don't have any left. I have an empty box.
We drank the whole bottle.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It's just that good.
You can get yours delivered right to your door on Amazon. It's perfect. You don't have to worry about going to the store. Sent right to you. The margarita mix is also fantastic. I know Kelly and I love the grapefruit lime. The margarita mix is great for summer. Great. Are you snacking right now? I mean, truly, maybe one of the most annoying noises. And the noise that you hate the most is listening to people chew.
You getting caught, Rhea, with the chips in your mouth. That was fantastic. Damn.
Unbelievable.
You took the cookies from the cookie jar. That's that face.
Caught literally right hands in the cookie jar. But anyway, Owens mixers, get them from Amazon. Drink along with us. We are getting into some seriously intense moments on this season. Katie is not messing around. But I will say, for how serious it ended, it did not start in a serious way. It started in a way that honestly blew all of our socks off. Could not believe that we were watching this conversation happen. Trent, I think you missed the beginning of this, but we'll fill you in. Katie basically put a ban on jerking off to all the guys in the house as a fun challenge.
That's illegal. That should be illegal.
Yeah.
What's the point? Like, was there like a fun thing?
I think it was like a joke. It was like a challenge that she and Caitlin came up with. And then like Caitlin went to the house and was like, hey guys, Katie wants you guys to participate in this challenge. They named it the Whoa.
The only thing that she is doing with that challenge is creating a group of angry, anxious, like pent up aggressive men. Like that's, I would say the opposite. I would be like, jerk off as much as you want, because then they're going to be more relaxed and they're going to be able to like not go crazy. It just, I get that it was a joke and it was like a fun thing to bring up, but also like, you don't want a house full of guys who have not been jerking off. That is not what she wants.
That's why Trent is so relaxed all the time, because the reason that he was missing the beginning of the show was because he was off doing his whole thing, and that's what he's alluding to. He's a relaxed guy because he's able to jerk off.
Exactly. Trent can do whatever he wants. And it's like these guys, they asked him to do this. And
hands where I could see him.
I'm good.
I'm thinking like, imagine the pressure of this. It's like a test, like, hey, if you don't abstain from jerking off, you don't care about me. That's essentially the like joke that Katie is playing and Caitlin. And I mean, yes, it's funny in theory to be like, haha, like how I bet these guys can't go like 2 days without jerking off. But there's gonna be some guys like Hunter. You don't think Hunter is sitting there like saying, like thinking about his grandma and like doing the Pledge of Allegiance in his head over and over at night because he wants to prove how much he loves her? Like that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You need Hunter to jerk off.
Yeah.
We've seen how crazy he is normally. He's running people over. He's just got those crazy eyes. Not letting him jerk off is a bad idea. And
it was also funny to me that it kind of lingered for the rest of the episode, where it wasn't like a one-off, like, haha, challenge, like, let's pretend this is a full joke. Like, the guys were bringing it up to Katie, like, within the week, being like, hey, just want to let you know, like, still doing a good job on the challenge. Like,
by the way,
so uncomfortable.
By the way, they're all jerking off the whole time. There's no way.
No way.
I was going to say, do you guys feel uncomfortable knowing they're fully loaded? Like
kind of. To be honest, like I don't want to have to think about a group
These
of
guys
like,
gonna-
guys.
I know
come
what
up
I'm
to
saying.
their
I wish
arms.
we weren't even having this conversation in the first place. They made us talk about this.
They're like, kapow! At any time, something could happen.
I tweeted
anything,
this.
like,
Does she just want all these guys to like cum their pants when they make out? Like they make out all the time. Like one of these guys is gonna bust quick. Like that's just what's gonna happen.
one of them is gonna brush up against a chair, and it's gonna be like, whoa! That's like,
I thought it was gonna happen with the coconut thing later on in the day. I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
And Connor also like would have been the guy who really like listened to the challenge.
100%.
It
100%.
would be like the scene in American Pie when he just comes right away.
yes.
That is literally that.
It is. So it was meant to be funny. There was a funny element to it. It was also just kind of a little bit bizarre. And then they went right into the first one-on-one date, which was Justin's date. The two dates, that date and the group date, not too much to say about it, except for the fact that Justin's was another fake wedding date, and we banned them. I think all of us have collectively tweeted about it enough now, where the head honchos are paying attention. Robert Mills says he hears us, and they're not going to do it anymore. I hope he's right. I'm going to be mad at him if they do it.
I'm thrilled about this. I said it's like every time they do this wedding shit, I feel like it's one big jinx. Like, why do you want to experience something so special that like you'll never get to experience? Like, you know what I mean? Like that's something that you should only experience like once, really, technically. So why like fake it and have it be so awkward?
Right. They flew too close to the sun because this is the second time this season that they've done it. Like if they do it once a season, I feel like we forget about it until it happens again, and we're like, oh yeah, we don't like these dates. But to do it and then do it again tonight, we just got to get them out of there. And I think Mills is listening.
You guys know how much I hate this. I'm screaming at my TV. It's so uncomfortable. Katie's like, oh my God, crying. It's all fake. It's all so fake.
I hate it too.
But she also in the later portion of the date, this is kind of where I jumped in. I didn't see the actual date, but I did see the dinner part of it, where she also didn't love that date either, because it puts her through these incredible emotions about like what's it going to be like on her actual day, and her dad can't walk her down the aisle. So to keep putting Katie through wedding dates seems mean now.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are probably thinking to themselves, no jerking off, and now we got weddings. Like, this house is a prison. They probably want to jump. Like, they're like, what have we gotten ourselves into?
Yeah.
We're getting married, and we can't jerk off.
And also, like, not even just the, proposal or the wedding photos and whatnot. Like, I saw people talking about the fact that Tayshia and Zach had done that, and, things are going well for them. But, like, the full-blown ceremony felt very unnecessary. Like writing vows, you're basically having a full-blown wedding. Like that's where it's like, this can't be this. You guys don't even know each other. Katie and Justin have barely spoken.
They're gonna accidentally they're going to accidentally legally marry two people on this show.
Yes.
They're gonna bring out all the paperwork and they're gonna sign it, and they're gonna be like, oh shit, you guys are actually married now. So that's kind of where we're at.
They're going to get Franco to officiate a wedding, and then like afterwards he's going to be like, haha, joke's on you, I'm actually ordained.
Right.
Like, oh shit. Okay. But Justin got a rose. Really wasn't too much of a massive date. I really get that chip out of your mouth. We can hear you chewing when you do this.
I'm sorry.
Kat?
Oh my.
We have a
Can't stop
question, guys. Did you see that? Did you see what Mills said? I couldn't tell. I think he's joking, but I hope it's real, about how sometime in Michelle's season they're gonna have them recreate what their holiday cards could be as a family.
That's funnier.
I think that's
funnier to me. That's funnier.
I hope they really do that.
Like sit on like Santa Claus's lap and shit.
Yeah.
Like weird. Yeah, like that's funnier. I
Like,
can get
a bunch
behind
of
that.
dogs.
Yeah,
like
the wedding
dogs. Something
right.
weird.
You get like fake kids to like pose in pictures.
Yeah.
with.
Yeah, that's hysterical. I would die laughing.
The wedding, at least that's something different. The wedding, we just do it all the time. And then we had this group date, which was entertaining only because of the drag queens. The drag queens were a great aspect to this. They told these guys basically how lame they all are to their faces. And because it was a roast, nobody wanted to roast anyone. It was like they're all too good friends. It's like the roast, I think Nick Viall tweeted like, wasn't funny at all because they're all just like trying to be too nice to each other. So everybody just came for Hunter. At the end of the day, none of us really care about Hunter, so it meant nothing.
I thought it was weird that it was a roast beef for everybody. Nobody roasted anybody but Hunter. It just seemed like one big pile on for Hunter.
Yeah.
And then Hunter was just like, I'm actually not going to roast anybody. Like, sorry. It was so anticlimactic. It was awful.
Everybody dislikes Hunter, but Kelly, you had tweeted, and I think you're probably right that it's the right move by Hunter. He didn't get a rose at the end of the night, so maybe not. But like at that point, I wish Hunter would just start roasting those guys because he hates all of them. They all hate him. Might as well do it. It looked like maybe the right play at the time. He didn't end up getting a roast, so maybe not. But it was a very boring date outside of that.
Yeah.
It's such a suck-up move from Hunter to be like, I have nothing to say to you guys. You're just lying because we all know that you do.
Yeah, you know what was funny though? I was laughing because I did feel like some of them were like salivating at the mouth there to have their moment to shit on Hunter. They brought up the top 4 list. They brought up that he's a super fan. These were all things that we didn't know about Hunter. Yeah. Or I didn't know Hunter was some Bachelorette super fan. But the way he delivered, what Rhea?
I wouldn't peg him as such.
No, I would not have either. But the way he delivered that top 4 to Greg, it was like, oh, you've watched this show before. It was like, if I had to do it right now, my top 4, like me, you, Connor, like he's sitting there, he's thinking long game. And you know what? He did open up on that date about like being a bad husband, like whatever happened with like his divorce and whatnot. I don't know if he's like a great person to like, I don't know, get married to. It's just, he seemed like he was coming on this show to be on the show.
It seems like he's playing a game. Like he's doing strategy. Like he knows what's up. Honestly, when they were dissecting that whole thing, it reminded me of like Tommy Smokes when we did Surviving Barstool. Like that's exactly what Tommy would do every single day. Was come through and sort of like go through 100 different kind of strategies and like list like, I think these 3 people are in the lead and this and whatever. And it's like, that's just how Hunter sounded. Clearly he's well versed in the show.
I actually don't hate that angle as much as like, we don't like people who go, or we don't care, but people who go on the show to be famous, like the Bachelor, the Bachelorette doesn't like that. But if you just go on the show to be on the show, like you love the show so much that you're just like, oh my God, I'm here. I'm at a roast ceremony. Like you don't care about Instagram followers. You don't care about any of that, but you just want to be like inside the show. That's actually kind of funny.
I'm with you. I feel like if we're going to complain about something, this isn't it. Because we're complaining that people want to go on the show to be famous. We're complaining that people like the show that are going on the show. Like, it's almost, you really see somebody admit, like, yes, I'm a big fan of this show. Besides a lot of the women that go on the show, they do it. But you don't really hear the guys all the time going on the show being like, I'm such a big fan. They're like, oh, no, my sister's best friends so-and-so set me up. Like, to hear that he actually likes the show, fine.
Right. He's like one of us. One of us. Like, that's
one of us.
And you're right. I would not have pegged Hunter as like a big Bachelor fan, but like, I guess that he is.
At the end of the day, these guys that all the other men were like whining about and ratting them out or whatever you want to call it, we all knew that they weren't ones that Katie was going to keep around anyway. So it's like, yeah, are all the guys going to shit on Hunter? Yes. Is it going to do anything? No, because Hunter's going to get sent home at some point anyway. That connection is that wasn't going to be it. So what Katie didn't love was now for the first time, all the whining backfired for the rest of these guys. And she just didn't have it. During the dinner portion of the group date, she basically got sick, came out, it's over, I'm done. Everybody go home. No one's getting a rose. And that was the first time they probably were like, damn. Like, I think James thought like this was his opportunity to tell the truth about Hunter and then get rewarded for it like everybody else has all season. And then James is like, oh shit, that totally went the opposite.
Right. This is what everyone was worried about, or this is what Andrew S. was worried about when Trey told on Thomas. They thought that the whole thing was going to blow up and she was going to send everybody home. It didn't end up that way. Trey ended up getting that group date rose. But yeah, now I think that we're deeper into the show and Katie is more like, all right, now I actually really need to find who I'm looking for in my future husband. She gets far more upset hearing these rumors about people who may or may not be there for the right reasons.
Will you correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that all the guys who went home tonight were basically the guys who were snitches, right? Like all of them. Like throughout the time, it's like sure she used them to like help her in the beginning, and now she cut them all out.
Well, I feel like that's literally what she said. She was like, "It's time for me to fall in love, and all you guys can leave."
Yeah, they're focused on other shit.
Yeah, well, Aaron, snitch.
Trey.
Snitch.
Yep.
James.
Yep.
I don't remember.
Well,
I mean, James kind of tried to talk shit about Hunter there, I guess, and Hunter.
Yeah.
Hunter was
Hunter.
Who was the guy who went to Katie after Trey snitched on Thomas and was like, I would have been the next guy in line if Trey.
Justin.
But
Justin got that rose. And then the last date was the one-on-one with Connor, which I got to tell you, I feel like just a big old swing and a miss on Connor. I could have swore this guy was going at the end. It just seemed like it was a shoo-in. But no, I guess the chemistry just wasn't there. We had this date where we had Caitlin and Jason with them, which was a lovely surprise. Loved seeing Jason there. The best part of the date, honestly, because then it was pretty painful to see Katie send home Connor, this sweet man who didn't see it coming, who was like, he's like consoling her. It was terrible.
He was
so bad.
They did like this. Go ahead.
No, Trent.
No, you go.
No, you go.
I'm gonna go. All right. They also did they did this split screen thing where Katie's in her own room being like, I can't believe I had to do this. I just don't feel it, the passion, the electricity. And then they cut back to Connor and he's like, this is awesome. Everything's so good right now. We're in a good place. Like, and then it's over for him. That's tough. Like, there's a lot of tough ways to get sent home on this show. But to like think about Connor at home watching Katie be like, yeah, he's a really great guy. I really liked him at the beginning. He wore the cat suit. And then when we kiss, I just feel nothing.
You know what you really don't want to hear? When someone says, he's just such a good guy. And you're like, no.
If I'm Connor, I would rather hear, and I'd be okay if she made it up where she was like, there's too much electricity. It's too much for me to handle. I think it's all physical. We don't have the emotional part. So you got to go. Just lie to me.
Do you guys think it's like,
that's just like a
do you guys think all of the cheesy stuff like that Connor does, and then we can talk about Blake Moynes as well, the like sweet songs and even the cat thing, and like didn't even do like a dance at one point. Like, he did a bunch of things that were like creatively sweet that we all looked at, and I know personally I was like, oh my god, the romance, whatever. But I think about it, and if it actually were happening to me, I think I would die of embarrassment. I think I'd be like, no, this is bad. I need you to be gone. Like, I love watching it happen to other people. I can't have it happen to me.
At one point he said, how bad of a kisser was
I?
Oh.
Yeah, that one was tough. That one really hurt. And you know what? I feel even worse because there were moments where they kissed like earlier on in the season where it was like, ooh, that looks like a bad kiss. Like from the outside.
Somebody out there kiss Connor and let us know what it's like.
Or just like give him some lessons. Help him.
Yeah.
Help him.
It did look a little I have a bit of a critique. It looked a little fast when I thought maybe it should have been like more slow and passionate.
Yeah.
I almost treated like, that was a little fast.
Show us with your hands.
Washing machine.
Yeah, I thought they were kissing like this, okay? They were kissing like wah, 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 wah. A little fast, right? Yeah. I wanted more of like a mwah, mwah, like maybe a linger to feel the spark. There was no time to feel the spark. It was just wah, 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 wah.
I would have respected the hell out of if Connor had tried to run back the cat suit one more time. He came out and was like, we had a pretty good connection when I was wearing this thing. So maybe, are you feeling the electricity now? And she maybe would have sent him home. But it would have been worth it.
What if he came out like,
no. He doesn't even have the cat suit on, but as they're sitting there and she's telling him he's back history, he just starts to go like, well, maybe I do.
Yes.
Maybe I do this. Maybe I play with the bow on top of
yeah.
Remember those good times, Katie?
When I did this, Katie.
And Katie grabs his hands like, no, stop, please, stop. Please.
Stretches. He's like, ooh,
no, the regular
stretching.
The regular kissing's good.
You want me to do? No, okay.
Okay.
Oh man. You know what was also very emotional and weird and sad, but also nice at the same time?
What?
Well, I can't. The licking, it gets me. All the guys,
all three of
being
us together
so
now.
upset.
Fran. Ew.
Yeah.
Fran. Kitty cat Fran.
I hate cats. All the guys when Connor left, all the guys were crying. Like, it was like nothing I'd ever seen before. Like, they were all so upset, and Michael gave him a kiss on the cheek. Now, what really is the heartbreaking thing here is I think they gave this moment to Connor to go back in the house and say goodbye to everyone because no one was there to pull his luggage.
Go fuck yourself, Trent.
I screwed up. Well, I didn't really screw up. I just, I couldn't do it. I was
The offer was on the table.
The offer was on the table. I got an email, months ago, being like, "Do you want to be the luggage guy again?" And I responded with a resounding yes. It's one of my favorite things to do in the world. And the timing of it just didn't work because back when this was happening, you had to still quarantine for a week. I know you had to quarantine for a week to do it, so you didn't have COVID. And I had a golf thing that I had to do, and the schedules didn't match up, and I had to politely and just heartbreakingly decline and say that I couldn't be the luggage guy this time around. And I honestly didn't even know. I wasn't sure if I was ever gonna be allowed to talk about it. But Robert Mills tweeted about it tonight, and it's a true story. I was supposed to be the luggage guy, but let me say this, and Kelly tweeted this at me as well. I might have dodged a bullet.
Yeah, you did. You did.
Because
I mean, I would have been upset. I was
of all the people. If you pulled Connors, it would have been pretty sad.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I mean, listen. Would I have still loved to? Do I still want to do it? Yeah, I wish I had. But the way I'm trying to make myself feel better about it is that people might have been mad that I pulled Connor B's luggage.
No, because people would have been like, "There's the silver lining. Connor is gone, but we saw Trent."
Maybe.
Look, just fingers crossed that they call you again.
Right. I hope. Yeah. I think. I hope so.
I'm telling them not to. I said if he's not ready to drop everything for this show, then you guys shouldn't have him back. You should have somebody like me.
Rhea, that's great. I've also put my hat in the ring to be creative director alongside Franco in the Christmas card shoot. Maybe we can all just cut Frank and host a date.
We don't golf.
You never know. You never know what could happen. But after Connor went home, Blake Moynes. We're going to wrap this up here. Blake Moynes showed up. He did the whole speaker outside the window. He played the country song that played during their date last week.
Great song, by the way.
Katie, this is tough because I'm just going to throw this out there now. But the way that this is proceeding makes me feel like she has fallen hard for Blake and for Greg, and Blake and Greg might end up setting themselves off.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like these previews of Blake being like, I'm not in love. Like, I just feel like he's going to panic exit and Greg's going to panic exit. I don't know.
It'd be kind of wild
Panic exit.
if Blake sends himself home. That'd be kind of crazy. Like, showing up late and then sending yourself home early. I've never seen that.
That would be nuts. I think Katie right now I think she gets along well with Blake Moynes. I think that Blake Moynes is very personable and charismatic. So it's like easy to like his personality. I also think that she's very sexually attracted to him. I think that he's one of the only guys on there. Maybe Greg is like a close second who she's like turned on by. Like, you can see it in her face.
You can see the way they make out. All of a sudden they're standing making out. You blink and they're like rolling around in hay and shit.
Exactly. And he's so gruff when he talks to her. Like, he's like, I tweeted this. He's like, looks like your eyes have been wet all day. Like, he said it in like a sexy tone. I was like, Blake, quit.
He's like, I like it raw. I'm like, what? We know.
Connor's dying for some of that sexual energy. Yeah. He's like, come on, how do you muster that up?
He can't get it. He just can't get it. He's too busy making adorable songs and playing them on the ukulele and shit. Like, he's a sensitive guy, you know?
Yeah. Oh man. But like we said, 4 guys were sent home, so 5 total. It's a small number now. We're getting closer to hometowns, I guess. This season is moving very quickly here towards the end. Rhea, do you have some questions that you would like to read? You take a second and do that, and we'll talk about Katie's second time now faking out someone saying their name at a rose ceremony and then not giving them a rose.
That was
I love it though.
Love it?
As far as I do, as far as a wrinkle for the show, yeah. Because it used to be just like, all right, at a rose ceremony, the person's holding the rose, and if the person gets their name called, that person's getting a rose. Now that's completely out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
he's
if
right.
you don't, yeah.
That's right.
No, I was just gonna say that's pretty much it. If you don't have a rose in your hand, you still might not get a rose.
I love that they give you the feeling that you feel that like anticipation waiting for her to call the name. And then when she does, it's almost like, oh, sigh of relief. And then it's like, can I talk to you for a second? And you're like, oh shit. Like it's like a up and down for real.
Yes.
Yeah. I thought that Hunter was really going to get that rose. I don't know what it is that like, it seemed like Katie liked him and he was going to stick around, but that was the end of that. And Aaron and James and what was the last one? Trey. I'm sad about Trey. I liked Trey. I don't think the connection was there with Katie at all, but I just enjoyed Trey as a character on this show.
For no reason,
I would try too.
For no reason at all, I'm happy that Aaron went home. Like I would see him and we always talk about he has like a little whiny baby face, and he still does have that sometimes. But when he went home, I was just like, I was weirdly happy. And he seems like a nice enough guy. I would actually like to talk to Aaron in real life, because I just feel like he got an edit on this season where the only time they showed him speaking was him speaking about the other guys. Like there was never a moment where they gave him airtime where he was not like talking about one of the other guys or like making a joke about one of the other guys. It was nonstop. So like he's got to be sitting at home like, fuck, I look like a bitch.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't really like. I've never really liked Aaron at all because I always just thought he was kind of whiny, like the whole thing. But again, I feel like I don't know anything about him, but him.
Exactly. Rhea, what do we got in the chat?
Do we think Connor is going to show up to Paradise?
Yeah, totally.
Maybe.
Connor's bringing that ukulele straight to the beach, I think.
I hope so. He might be like too heartbroken, honestly. Like he strikes me as somebody. I mean, his face, him like. While comforting Katie, looked so sad, like so genuinely sad, like fuck. And you could tell that that's happened to him before.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, fuck again. Like I could just tell. So I don't know. But I mean, that'd be nice.
I don't know. I don't think he turns down Paradise if he's given the chance.
They put out the Paradise cast, but are we thinking that there might be guys from this season that are still
like the people that'll show up later on in the season? They only announced the initial cast.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I could see Connor showing up.
Yeah.
What did you guys think about the sprinkler during the makeout? A lot of people are asking this question, and I'm not really sure.
It was a little forced, I thought. Like we get it.
Like that's just that's a classic Bachelor edit right there. That's like the classic, like after the fantasy suites, cut to the bee flying around the flower, you know, like that's just the classic. Guess what? The whole episode revolved around these guys not jerking off. So what do they do after Blake and Katie are heavy petting each other? It's a sprinkler.
We'll hose them down and cool them off.
Yeah, exactly. They really leaned into that one today.
Yeah, just a good old fashioned metaphor.
Yep.
Do we think Katie will hook up with all of her fantasy suite picks?
No. I think no. I also don't think maybe like Mike P could sneak in there, and if that's the case, he's a virgin, so probably not.
I feel like maybe only because she's so vocal about how important sex is.
Yeah.
But she also might only have sex with people she really wants to. Like she might, some guys she might sleep over, but then that will be the deciding factor. Like if I don't want to have sex with you, I'm sending you home. I'm not going to have sex with you. Like that might be a thing. You know, she might even not stay over with them if she doesn't plan on having sex with them.
Agreed.
They tease someone showing up at her door unexpectedly.
Yeah.
Who do you think it is?
You know what I kind of thought for like 2 seconds today when I saw that preview this morning? What if it's like Matt James, like coming through to like give her advice?
I think it is.
Yeah,
I agree.
honestly, because they were good friends, and he could come in and be like, "Oh, these guys." And the way his body was shaped, I was like, "That's a tall guy with good arms. It could be Matt James."
You and I thought the exact same thing, and it was the body. It was this part of his body.
Yes, exactly. It's like he's so built up here. I was like, "Who is even built like that?"
Oh man,
I almost guarantee now that is.
Yeah, I'm so glad.
I hope it is because I would like that so much more than it
It's just-
being
what
a
is she-
contestant she sent home already.
Me too.
She's saying like, "You're the last person I thought I would see here," and that also would be Matt James.
I feel like that's got to be Matt James. Then that's a good call.
That's a good call. I'm like doing a terrible job at predicting this season. Like everything I think is going to happen has not happened. So I don't even have a good guess. I'm going to go with you guys and stick with that.
We'll do fingers crossed again for Matt James. I would love to see him.
Last one, Rhea.
Last question. Who do you think makes her want to book her flight home?
Ooh.
I
almost want to say Greg, only based on him like, storming off all dramatic in a preview.
It's Greg or Blake for me. I think those two are going to cause some issues here.
Yeah,
I agree.
I'm not sure what was this in the trailer, like the teaser trailer.
Yeah, it's for the
How does she say it? What's her tone?
Book my flight, like book my ticket home. I'm done.
Oh, okay. I thought it was going to be like, I just want to go home, book my ticket home. I would get Michael A because
it's like an angry book my ticket home. I'm done.
And it's mashed up kind of with Greg, like storming off. Can I just get a second? Like so mad.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going with Greg too then.
They taught me in acting school.
Oh boy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give out some roses and cut some stems. Oh, Rhea, hand flying in the air. Would you like to go first?
I'm going to give my rose to Jason Tartick.
Oh,
good one.
Good one. I love seeing him on the TV. He just makes you smile, you know?
He's so sweet. He's so handsome.
He did nothing, but it was nice. So he gets my rose.
Okay, who are you cutting?
I'm going to cut the I got it. I'm going to cut the producer who came up with the no jerking off challenge, who clearly is not allowed to jerk off at his own home. His wife catches him, says no jerking off. So he gets in there and he tells everyone, no jerking off for all of you. If I'm not jerking off, nobody's jerking off.
I like that.
That's a good one.
Oh, him.
Who's up next?
I can go.
Okay. You go next. I'm still thinking a little bit.
I'm cutting my own stem just because just fucking schedule. So I'm cutting my own stem for not being able to be the luggage guy this season, because sometimes I still just lay awake at night and I stare at the ceiling being like, man, I wish I could have done that. And I'm going to give my rose in the same vein. I'm going to give it to Connor B for rolling his own luggage out. I thought he did a great job. I thought he looked good doing it. I thought it was funny that they had him do his own luggage.
Yeah.
So those are my stems and my roses.
Those are
all luggage related tonight.
Yeah.
It's the only thing on his brain.
Kelly?
Seriously.
I'm going to actually give my rose to Katie today because I was very impressed with the way she broke up with Connor. I thought it was executed so well. It was as nice as could possibly be, and I commend her for doing it
and ruthless at the same time.
Yes, it was direct to the point. She was just sad enough. She was sorry enough. Like, it was a perfect breakup. Good for her. Rose to her. Stem I'm cutting. I think I'm going to cut. I got to cut the stereo. Whoever's idea was the stereo over the head. It was, I knew when Katie was sitting in that room and I could hear hear music, I was like, someone's outside with a fucking stereo and it's going to piss me off. And it was Blake Moynes. So I'm going to cut the stem of whoever's idea that was.
I'm going to be the complete opposite of that. And honestly, give my rose to Blake Moynes for holding that stereo, because I ate that shit up. I'm all for it. Living in my own romantic comedy, which is truly my dream. So props to Blake. He executed it perfectly. You guys can all make faces at me. But I'm gonna give it to him. And I'm cutting the vows. I'm cutting the vows, the wedding date. Someone had to do it, and that. I hope this is the last time we have to cut a wedding date, and they never do it again.
At what point do we cut Franco's stem? Because we say, Franco, you got to fucking stand up and say, I'm not shooting this shit anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it anymore.
That is true. He's always the one shooting it.
Yes, he needs to just come up with another direction.
I'm not ready to cut Franco's stem on that.
I'm not saying
I'm not either.
When.
But he's got to get some more creative license.
Yeah. Let him off the leash a little bit. I bet Franco come up with some weird shit. Let him off the leash a little.
Let
him go.
All right, so it was a big night. 5 people went home. It looks like things are getting very, very serious in the coming weeks. These guys are taking it very seriously. Katie's taking it very seriously, which means you're going to need a drink while you're watching. So go get your Owens mixers and drink along with us. You can get them on Amazon. The link is right there underneath me, so you can check that out. Drink along with us, and we will be back next week. Good night, everyone.